Hi guys, I've had a few questions about my low-cost fodder system, so I thought I'd make a quick video showing you my little setup and how I use that and how I grow fodder for my chickens and my rabbits. So we're out here in the polytunnel today because this is where I keep my fodder system just now. And first of all, some of you might be thinking, what is fodder, Shelley? What are you talking about? Well, fodder essentially and very basically is the process of sprouting any grain or seed to make animal feed. So rather than just having the seed, you've sprouted it and you feed it in that form. Why? You might be thinking, why not just feed the grain? Essentially, there's a few benefits to it, but primarily it makes it more bioavailable to the animal, it makes nutrients easier to absorb. You can imagine a hard grain of wheat, how difficult that is to digest, how difficult it is to break down, how difficult it is to absorb the nutrients from that. And then imagine a seed that's been soaked, it's softened, it's sprouted, how much easier it is to digest the nutrients available within that. So that's the primary reason. It's also a matter of economy. A sprouted seed has a lot more volume than a hard dried grain. You can essentially triple your bulk of food by sprouting it, because you've got the grain which expands because it's been soaked, you've got a root system, and then you've got the growth on the top. It depends on when you feed the grain, how long that you sprout it for. Depends how long, how much bigger it gets. You can feed them just when they've just started to sprout, when they've just opened and you've just got some roots. You can feed them when you've got a whole lot of growth on the top. That can also depend on what grain you're using. I primarily use wheat. I also use barley, and just now I'm trying sunflower seeds, which is a first, and it's working quite well. They're a lot more expensive though, so that's something to do on occasion. Primarily I do wheat. It's easy to get hold of, it's cheap, it sprouts really well. So that's, and the chickens and the rabbits love it. The chickens tend to prefer the grain parts at the bottom, and the rabbits like the growth on the top. So it works well for both of them. So I'm going to show you quickly my system and my sort of daily routine with it. So let's go and have a look at that. So this is my homemade fodder system. And as I said earlier, it is a recycled system that I've made out of the stuff I had lying about. True sort of hillbilly style. So I had this old metal shelving unit kicking about, and all I'd done is I lifted the shelves at the front to offset them, and then the next one I dropped it. So I don't know how well you can see, but the shelves slant up, then down, then up, then down. And the reason I've done this is to allow the water to flow. So I water these top ones, the water runs right down, comes out the bottom, runs into the tray below, runs right down, goes down, and so on. So I only really need to water the top. So I start from the bottom, our newest grains at the bottom, and then they get moved up. So as you can see, as we go further up, we've got more and more growth. This is finished and it's ready to feed. Now this is what you end up with, this almost mat-like structure of roots. Beautiful. And this system of draining also means that we don't get any mould growth. These can be susceptible to mould, but with a good drainage system where it all runs right down, you kind of avoid that. So you can see here, this one is barley and this one is wheat. And this is the sunflower seeds I mentioned I was trying, so they're much slower, but coming on pretty well. This one is barley, and then we've got more wheat down here. So that's the system essentially. So now let's take a quick look at my daily routine with this. So the first thing I'm going to do today is harvest this fodder that's ready. I don't harvest every day. It depends. Sometimes this one might be ready in 2 days. So sometimes I harvest every second day, sometimes every third. But this is ready to go today. So all I'm going to do is transfer this into a bucket so I can take it to the rabbits who want to get this today. I kind of alternate between the rabbits and the chickens, and this leaves me with an empty tray. So what I want to do is I want to move everything over one place. So everything's moving up, so I know which trays are the newest Everything moves along and up. And it keeps it all in a nice working order for me. And easy to manage. Now these trays are just old seed trays I had. I poked some extra holes right on that back edge. And that edge you always want to make sure is at the bottom, because that's where you want to drain from. So this is the edge that we will fill up today. So I've got my grains here that have been soaking overnight, just wheat grains. These have already started to do it overnight. It's so quickly once they get going, especially when it's warmer. So I just spread these out in my tray. Easy as that. And then they're at the bottom ready to go. And that's that. So now we're going to feed this to the animals, and then we will get started on soaking the next batch that are going to go out in the next couple of days. Tray fodder all dished out and distributed between the rabbits and some for the chickens. Our trays are all moved up one. Our empty trays being refilled with soaked seeds. So all I've got left to do now is to start the next batch. Now these seeds or the grains need to be soaked for 24 hours at least before they go out in the trays. They sprout a lot better, just benefit from having a good soaking. So I found the easiest way to do this is by using 2 buckets. One just half filled with water. To this I add the tiniest splash of bleach. You might be thinking you cannot put bleach in there, you're putting animal feeds in there, but it's a tiny amount in the bucket, and as these are rinsed 3 times a day over the course of probably between 12 and 16 days, so by the time they get to the point where they're being fed, there's no bleach left. But what the bleach does do at this point is removes any dirt and debris, and it kills any fungal spores. As I said earlier, these can be quite perceptible to growing mould and fungus in them, so if you kill that at this stage, it makes things a lot easier for you. So I've got 1 bucket of water with a tiny bit of bleach in it. My second bucket, as you can see, is full of holes at the bottom, and the reason I do this is because it makes it much easier to drain your grain. So the last thing I need is my grain. I'm going with wheat again today, and that is all I use. So that small amount of wheat becomes the big mat of fodder that you've seen me with earlier. That's all you need. So that sort of illustrates how you can expand your feed with a fodder system. So grain into your draining bucket, and then draining bucket into your water bucket, and just push it down slowly and it'll fill up. I did this using these old buckets, and I just used a small drill bit and drilled these holes in it. Look at this, give them a bit of a stir, and then they'll sit in here for 24 hours, and then when I'm ready to drain them, all I need to do is lift this and it drains itself, and I'll usually leave it in the bucket for a day or 2 just to completely drain out, and you can even water them when they're still in the bucket before they get put into a tray. So that's the whole system, simple as that. The only other thing that you need to remember to do is water them. I water mine 3 to 4 times a day. The more often you water them, the better they'll come out. Something I'm going to do next is set up a pole here with a drip hose on a timer so they can kind of take care of themselves. That's my next plan. But right now I just come out a few times a day. Quick water for the top ones, and as you can see the water just runs right down into the next tray. simple as that. And I'm out here anyway, so that's it. I do that a few times a day. And if you've got any in the bucket that are drained, waiting to go into a tray, I give them a quick rinse too. And that's it. It's a really quick, simple, cheap way to expand your feed. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my fodder system. If you've got one of your own, I'd love to have a look at it. Leave me a comment below, or send me a picture on our Facebook group. I'll leave a link for that down below. Or if you've got any suggestions for stuff I could do better, or any questions about my fodder system, drop me a comment down below. Thanks for checking in, guys.